Hey, buddy. This is Hank. He's a good boy. He has a very poor concept of personal space. That's okay with me. For this episode of Weird Canadian Kid Shows, he's going to be my emotional support dog. Because today we're talking about the Doodlebops. I don't think there's any way I'm going to be able to recover my pride from this one. I don't think there's going to be any way for me to reclaim the manhood that I sacrificed to research this video. I mean, like, there's nothing more pathetic than a man in his late 20s sitting down and watching an episode of the Doodlebops so he can make a YouTube video about it. And then I thought to myself, well, there's no way I'm doing it sober, so I've been having a couple of beers. I couldn't find my hats, and I'm like, I feel pretty naked without a hat, and I just didn't give a shit. The Doodlebops checks all the boxes. It's weird. It's Canadian. And it's a kid's show. Yeah. When I was a child, I dreamed of being a filmmaker and making movies like the ones I loved as a kid, especially like the Godzilla movies, which are cheesy. I've always liked cheese. And I thought, surely I'll be making some grade A cinema. And instead, I'm spending my weekend watching episodes of the Doodlebops and then shooting a video about them. Cat and the dog are getting into it now. They like each other, but they don't have, like I said, they don't have good concepts of personal space, so they're constantly sniffing each other's assholes, as cats and dogs do. But they haven't figured out that, it's a two-way street. So Hank will get mad at Oliver for sniffing his asshole, and then Oliver will get mad at Hank for sniffing his, but they won't stop sniffing each other's ass. I'm supposed to be talking about the Doodlebops. Okay, I mean, just fucking look at them. I don't know what type of qualifications you need to make a kid's show, but like, where do you get this from? Like, let's try and break this down. So, okay, kids like bright colors, kids like weird and goofy shit. But like, when you think of weird, goofy shit made for kids, I can think of a million examples that are better than. I gotta keep all that beer down with more beer. I can think of a million examples that are better than this for both young kids and older kids. If I was a parent, I'm an uncle, I would never put this on for my niece. I don't think I can't put my finger on it. There's nothing abundantly inappropriate about it. It's not like, oh, it's a weird kid show. There's so much sexuality in it. This is so inappropriate. I just think I'm watching this thing and I'm like, this is fucking garbage. I'm really sorry, and I know I got requests for this, and I'm really sorry if you wanted me to talk about this because you loved this show growing up. I didn't grow up with it. It was one of those shows that I actively avoided. Like, if I was watching, I think it was on Treehouse, if I was on Treehouse trying to watch like Ants in Your Pants or something like Bear in the Big Blue House, and then this came on, I'd change the channel. I'd go to the History Channel and watch fucking like Ice Road Truckers instead. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Ice Road Truckers, that's a great show, but for a fucking 4-year-old? Oh good, my emotional support kitty's here now. Come on up. Come here. You guys remember Oliver. So they can tell, they're They're very empathetic animals. They see me watching the Doodlebops, and there's a sadness in their eyes. You know, they're stupid. They don't have human brains. So I like to imagine that when I leave for work in the morning, they're thinking, oh, he's hunting, he's going out, he's gathering. But I like to think that, oh, Ben's home and he's and I feed them. That's the other thing. I've got a really good system down to guarantee the respect of the animals. I'm supposed to be talking about the Doodlebops. They look at me as their leader. I'm the pack alpha, right, Oliver? Mighty alpha. Alright, you have to answer that. And then they see me watching the Doodlebops. I'm glad that they don't understand what I'm doing, because I'd be fucking embarrassed. Thank you. Mwah. Anyways, I think I'll break down the history of the Doodlebops for you. The Doodlebops' initial release was on April 11th, 2005. It ran till 2007, and it was on CBC Kids. The main three Doodlebops are Dee Dee Doodle, Mo Doodle, and Rooney Doodle. The basic premise of the show is that the Doodlebops are the ultimate rock band. They're doing shows, they're rehearsing, they're practicing, they're doing their daily routine and getting up to shenanigans. Like a lot of shows made for really young kids, the plot's pretty flimsy. There's not a whole lot going on and not a whole lot to say in a deep dive. You know, each episode is very formulaic and follows pretty similar trends to other kid shows from its time. Just as an example of what kind of plots we're dealing with here, the first episode of the Doodlebops is about them fighting over to see who's going to be on the cover of a magazine. And as I'm sure you can imagine, it comes down to them, you know, just working out their differences. It's a kid show. That's about it. Not only were the Doodlebops on TV, but they also did a handful of live shows. And if you want to watch the show today for whatever reason, you can find it on Tubi. I just think it's a bad show. You know, there's lots of shows made for very younger kids, and even shows that go for a similar thing with kind of goofy characters and this kind of pseudo musical show. You know, like I take Foursquare, High Five. I take High Five over Doodlebops any day of the week. I take We 3 over Doodlebops any day of the week. I take fucking Nanaland over Doodlebops any day of the week. There was an episode, I'm pretty sure I was shitting on Tupi and Binu a lot, but like Tupi and Binu, despite being an annoying show, is infinitely better than the Doodlebops. I don't get it. If you're a Doodlebops fan, I don't know what you've got going on. Yeah, so I hate it. I'm angry. Again, if you were one of the people that requested this and you loved this show growing up, I'm really sorry. I just don't see it. Thanks for watching this episode of Weird Canadian Kid Shows. Tune in next time. Hopefully I'm more lively.